it's free as well.
Yeah.
Shall we go on to our next one, Brad M? Do you want to kick it off, or shall I? Do you want to kick it off?
I'd like you to kick it off, actually. I'm a little bit apprehensive on this one because of the present company.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it is officially Game of the Year by every outlet or every person that has,
everyone
an opinion.
paid.
Everybody got paid
for that opinion. Yeah.
All the shills. Yeah.
All the shills, yeah.
Shills.
Well, yeah, we're two of them in disguise.
Yeah.
We've got Neil Druckmann just here, but with my PlayStation T-shirt. But
Neil Fuckman. Yeah, I went there. Yeah.
Jesus, look at the comments now. But the game we're going to be talking about is obviously Last of Us Part 2, which is a masterpiece of storytelling. It's unquestionably Naughty Dog at their best, I believe. It's they're so good. They're so good. And what they did with this game, I feel like, is just a feat in gaming of like storytelling. In terms of like, I've never experienced this in any game where it's almost like a bit like the moment that we had with like TV shows like a few years ago, where it's like Breaking Bad or The Sopranos, where you see the villain's perspective, and there's like this grey line of like who is the good guy and who is the bad guy. And I've never seen that in like video games. And don't get me wrong, I like Spider-Man and I like it where you clearly got a hero and a villain. But to have a game where it turns it on its head, where we thought Joe and Ellie, well, I guess we're going into a little bit of spoilers. We've already done spoilers, but to think Joe and Ellie are the good guys, or these are the people that you have all the attachments to then flip it on the head that they're not necessarily the bad guys, but there is no good guys in this world. And it's in this zombie post-apocalyptic like world where everybody's trying to survive, and they build this story with Abby where it's all about revenge, and revenge will kind of cost you everything, which kind of ends up with Abby and Ellie just, I don't know, just fucking up their lives, really. It's there's some really key moments where the game could easily end with Ellie on the farm, for example, where she's got the sunset. And it's almost like that Star Wars ending with the sun, and she's got the baby, and it's like, oh wow, she's actually getting a happy ending, but she can't let it go. And it's kind of like, at that point I was like, Ellie, no, like seriously, like it makes decisions where I kind of really disagree with them, but I'm not that person. And I don't know that when I said a couple of weeks ago where I was playing Cyberpunk as me and I was making those decisions as me, but with like these type of games, I'm not playing as me. And there's so many decisions where I kind of like, I disagree with Ellie, I disagree with Joe, I disagree with Abby. And I'm just along this ride of this really impelling story where it makes you do things you don't really want to do. Like that fight where you fight against Ellie, it's kind of like, this is really horrible, but it's I feel like they went places that no other game has gone before, and it makes you, I don't know, emotions, whether or not you like the decisions it's made or not. I feel like that is good storytelling, and that's where it kind of comes down to, mixed in with really good gameplay. Like the gunplay is really fun. It's probably the best Naughty Dog I've ever done. Personally, I do like Uncharted, but I feel like the gunplay is a little bit stiff at times and a little bit not that great. I do feel like they did up it, and visually it's phenomenal. Even on the PS4, I haven't seen it on PS5, but it looks as good as any PS5 game, and I'll play that on the PS4 Pro. So it's an absolute masterpiece of storytelling, and it is one of my game of the year. Don't know if you agree, Brad M. Got anything to add to
that? Not much. I think you've summed it up really well, and I share all the opinions. I just think like the alternative to have just some linear storyline that takes you to an end would just not be as interesting. I just think where they completely flipped it on its head, and this whole new perspective, and it's like we're in this world of Joel and Ellie, but there's consequences to their world, and what is the flip reversal of that? It just zooms out and takes you into this other world, and I only see that as great storytelling, and to live and breathe in that other world. It's controversial, but interesting, and I found it really enjoyable. It gripped me the whole way. I didn't know where it was going to go. So yeah, game of the year.
Guys, you got
Here we go.
Brad S. Ash.
I'll let Brad go first, and then I'll go. I'll go.
I just hope they don't make any more, because it it's shit. And like the game, the gameplay, yeah, I really like the gameplay, and the first half of the game I was really enjoying. I think when we done the podcast, I was saying this game's brilliant. You got to play it. I'm loving it. And then the next week after I played the Abbey section, it's like, come on, it's gone a bit downhill. But yeah, the gameplay and some of the parts when you was playing as Abby, like the game, that was good. Like the bit in the hospital, that was really with the
Rat King stuff.
Rat King, yeah, it is good. But yeah, I don't know. It's the story, and I said a couple of weeks ago I can step back and appreciate it being a good, a good game, and people, go one game in a year and that. But for me, the storyline let it down, and it's not a game I'd go back to. Whereas I went back to number one multiple times. I just don't know. Yeah, just the story. This is what it done. It polarized people. Some people loved it, like you guys, and other people hated it, like me and Ash.
Do you think that's a bad thing though? Like, it did that?
Yeah. See, my mate talks about this as well, and it's like for that for you to get that sort of reaction out of a game, it shows that it's good. And it's like, yeah, right, fair enough. But my opinion is, I didn't like the story. And I thought the farm bit, when you was at the farm with Ellie and the kid, it was fucking boring. I didn't care about them being in the farm and dancing. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead inside, but I just didn't care. And the whole, I don't know, it felt a bit too long. The whole bit when you went to California at the end just felt tacked on. They probably should have ended it at the farm. Ended at the farm, done. Don't tack the other bit on.
But that was the point of the game, is that obsession and revenge will cost you everything. And I feel like it was done intentionally. They made an ending. That was the ending, and that should have been the ending. And I thought that was ending. I imagine everybody that played the game and got to that point was like, this is the end.
There was like space in the sky for the credits to appear.
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
Like, credits?
But
right?
I was hoping it was the end.
Yeah, so did I.
I was.
Yeah. And it was like, 100%. No, this is not the ending. Ellie doesn't get a happy ending. She has to do it. She has to go and get Abby. And it's not the choice I would have made, and it's not the choice. But I feel like that was the intention. It was to make you feel, a bit like Walking Dead did with like. It's a bit like the whole like, I don't know, like when you just see characters that you like, or Game of Thrones even. Like when you see a character that you really like and they make you fall in love with this character, and then they just kill them. They just get their heads chopped off, and it's like that shock factor. And no game has ever done that, and this game has hit that level of storytelling. Yeah.
This isn't a game about us. It's about Ellie. It's not. Well, is this right to say? It's not really role playing, is it? It's telling a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not our motivations; it's hers.
I've said my opinions on it in the past, but yeah, I respect you two opinion. I respect your opinion, but yeah, for me, it wasn't great. So,
can I ask what it was that you didn't like about the story?
It's just the story. So they built these characters up in the first one, and everyone loved these characters like Joel, especially Joel. And then for them just to kill him right at the beginning of the game, he's done. That's it. And then to make Joel look like he's the bad guy, and Abby's the best. The best. Like the best. She's the better person, and that's what it was. It was just the story. It's like character assassination of people. And I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't.
I don't feel like I hated Joel. I feel like Abby hated Joel. And
yeah, but I suppose some people like you have obviously played it, and you can, you're playing it as the characters. But I don't know. I played it. I don't know what I was trying to do. You play as Ellie, and then you play as Abby, and then you're supposed to see it from Abby's point of view. And by the end of it, you're supposed to be like, yeah, I can see why. And I can see why she's done it. Obviously, killed. Joel killed her dad and everyone she knew, whatever. But by the end of the game, I was like, no, it's not me, and and I'm not like, me and Ash ain't the only ones. There's a lot of people that didn't like it. I think this is a very polarizing game. Everyone was looking forward to it for years, and then half of the people love it, and then like this podcast, half of the people love it, half of the people don't, and
Yeah.
I'm on the side of don't. But like I said, I can see it as it is a good game, and I loved half of it. Half of the game, I mean, he's playing as Ellie. I've really enjoyed it, but yeah, it's
So why do you not like playing as Abby?
because she's the fucking Hulk. She's just like, nah. I don't know. She's just,
Because she killed Joel.
yeah. It's
But then
weird
you kind of contradict your point, because then at the end you said you didn't like the farm scene because you don't care.
Yeah, I just thought the farm scene was boring. To be honest, I just
It's just boring in terms of a gameplay perspective,
yeah,
rather
just,
than story.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
sure.
just, it was
Yep.
just a bit boring. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's messed up, and it's all mixed up because there was certain parts of the game when you played Abby I did like. I
I think our gameplay was a lot better than
yeah,
Abby.
the gameplay. You
I
know,
mean, Ellie, sorry. I feel
and
like she was a lot funner to play as.
and like I say, the Rat King bit I really liked. You know, the whole suspense bit in the hospital.
Sure.
And that was good as well because you heard them go when you're playing as Ellie. You heard them say, "Don't go down a lower level as a hospital because it's like terrible." When you go in there as Ellie and there's nothing, but then when you go back there later on as Abby, then you see why it is so bad. But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. Yeah, it didn't grab me as much as the first one. And I don't think I'd go back and play it again. So yeah, it's a shame because I was really looking forward to it, you know. But hey, that's life. You know, that's
Maybe I feel like you may have had not necessarily the wrong expectations, but what this world is. It's a black.
Yeah,
Do
maybe,
you?
yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched. I know you did actually. I believe you did. You watched The Walking Dead, right? But did
Yeah.
you ever go into the series thinking these characters are safe because I like these characters? If one of them just died and got killed, like they all did horrible things, like Rick and the gang. They weren't good people, but yet you were rooting for them. They were the characters you were following. And then when they did like what was that guy's name in like season 2 or 3? The governor, was it the governor?
Yeah, the governor. Yeah.
Like he was the bad guy, but then they did like a whole storyline where they saw like he had this like little girl and he was actually like a good guy, and you saw it from his perspective that he wasn't actually this evil Hitler or whatever. And
he did have a lot of heads in jars though. That was a bit weird. That was
it was I'm not saying perfect, you know what I mean? We all got something
issues.
going on, you know.
We've all got a few jars and heads in jars.
Exactly. We all got our doors closed right now. You know, we don't know what's in the other room, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it adds, like Brad M said, it kind of draws it back from just Joel and Ellie, and you see like the whole world's perspective of there's consequences to us going around killing other people, and these people also have families and loved ones and things like that. But cool. Ash?
Yeah, I agree. I really did enjoy the gameplay. Really enjoyed it. The mechanics of it, brilliant. Like the way you chuck rope over and stuff, and you can pull it through, and you have to, it's a little bit of puzzle solving and stuff like that. I did like the characters. I liked, Ellie, obviously. I didn't mind Abby, but if the story was, this is a story of Abby and this is a story of Ellie, and they were two different games, I would have probably enjoyed it. But it was the fact where you said about Abby is portrayed as the better one because she can learn to let go. I think, but the thing is with Ellie, she was pinned to the floor watching her only father figure get smashed in with his leg open. And then that's probably why she had a harder time letting it go. And she was an orphan. And then the only father figure she ever got hold of then gets murdered in front of her. So I can understand why she's more after revenge more than anything. And the what I didn't like about the story is at the beginning, the uncle was like, don't do this. Joel wouldn't have wanted you to do this. He wouldn't want you to go after him. Just leave it. And she's like, I can't, I can't. He's like, look, just leave it. And then he goes off to go sort it out. And you're like, fair enough, he's gone to go sort it out. Then when all this happens, and then she's got a baby and she's settled down, she's on a farm, she's like, I'm happy now, I'm just going to leave it, I don't want to do it. Then he comes in and is like, look, we need to go find her. Do you see what she's done? And he's like, oh, well, hold on, where's this turnaround come from? This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. At the beginning of the game, you was like, Joel wouldn't have wanted you to do this. Now she's actually happy, got a family, got a happy life, and you're convincing her to go back out again. That's the bit of the story. Everything else I could understand. I could understand the good and the bad, and the way that no one's really that bad and no one's really that good. They're just trying to survive. I could understand all that, but that element there where the brother was trying to convince her after she had a happy life completely just killed the story for me.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's just consequences, isn't it, of your actions? And I feel like every character makes a decision, and it's almost, I guess, why you guys might not like it, but it's like every character makes the wrong decision. So like you said, like the brother going out to do it, I think that cost him his marriage. Like his wife didn't want him to go, and he comes back, he's injured, isn't he? Like didn't Abby injure him? And he's like got like and he can't actually go himself now because he probably would have just gone himself to California, not told Ellie, but he can't go. He's probably lost his marriage now, and out of those consequences, made this an obsession. And obviously, Ellie also had it as an obsession, and so did Abby. And I don't think necessarily Abby let it go. Obviously, she didn't kill Ellie's girlfriend. I can't remember it. Is it Dina? Whatever her name was. Yeah. And it's because Liv, like the little the little boy says, "Don't do it," kind of thing, and she doesn't, but because she's pregnant or whatever. But yeah, it's just. Yeah, I feel like every character makes consequences and just loses. They lose everything, you know. And Ellie going at the end and losing her fingers. So the last connection with Joel was the playing the guitar, and she can't do that anymore. It's not a nice story. It's sad, but it's I feel like it's still not a bad story that was told, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just yeah, it's just that element of it. It's like I say, the gameplay I enjoyed the first half of it. It was just just the story, and I think that's the main thing when it comes to games to me. The story has to be there, no matter how good the elements are. I mean, many a time I thought actually I might give it another go because I've really enjoyed the gunplay of that. I've really enjoyed the way the enemies, like if you was hiding behind a wall, obviously in real life an enemy's going to find a way to get around that wall and shoot you, which they do. Really clever. And I think I might actually pick that up, and then I'll remember the story, and I'm like, oh, I just can't bother to go back through it again because I just really didn't enjoy it. And like Brad said with the Rat King, that was really good. I enjoyed that. Like I said, if they'd made a game where it was like, this is Abby's game and this is Ellie's game, I'd enjoyed it. But a game where you've got all these fans who are so passionate about Joel, I don't mind that he got killed. I think that was quite a good move. It made, it's a good.
The motivations, yeah.
Exactly that. But you had this little girl you looked after and you made sure she was safe, and then you play as her, and then you're like, right, now you got to play as Abby, shoot her, kill her now, and you're like, well, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. And then they had that bit when you're like trying to find her and Ellie's running around planting bombs and that, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like Home Alone.
Yeah, that was
weird. What's going on here? Like this is changed. This is like this game has always been believable. It's been like a gritty story, and now I'm up against fucking Kevin McAllister running around the house putting bombs down, trying to kill me. I'm like, what is going on here? And that destroyed it for me. Because when I'm doing it to zombies, I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I'll put a tin down there, a load of bombs in it. When someone's doing it against me and I'm running around little hallways, I'm like, this is a bit silly, isn't it? But yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I can appreciate people did really enjoy it, and there's plenty of people out there who did enjoy it. But for me, it just wasn't. It wasn't it, and that's fair enough.
I feel like the enemy types were quite good in this game as well.
I really like the I can't remember what it was called. The ones that like the
whistled,
like, creep around. That one. But then the infected that creep around, they were ranked up. They like cranked up to 10, level 10.
Stalkers.
They was fucking scary. Yeah.
But in the first one, you only really saw them in the hotel, and then on this one though, like as soon as you knew they was there, you was kind of like, oh shit, this is. Yeah, so I like.
And another enemy I really liked was the big, not the bloater, but like the big bastards.
Yeah,
on the first game, they was like, fucking, that's a bit of a bastard to kill. On this game, it was like, fucking hell, that is intense. That fucker's just thrown me through a wall.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed that. Really, like I say, there's elements in the game that really pull me back to it. But at the end of the day, it's the story where I'm like, I just can't do it.
Yeah,
it's like rewatching Game of Thrones. I can't do that either because that just hurts my heart.
No, I know you feel. Yeah, no, the enemy, the way they designed them as well, I feel like they just upped it to another level. Like even the clickers and stuff, and the way they clicked, especially if you played with like a headset on with surround sound, it just really added to the atmosphere of the game. Especially when you're in like the underground bit and it's quite dark and stuff. It's there's some really good scenes in the game. Even the nostalgia scenes where they do like the cutback scenes, and like with Eddie's birthday, and they go to the museum.
Yeah,
Like that
love
scene
that.
is so heartwarming. It's unbelievable. Like it's a real like father and daughter scene where they're in the little she's wearing like the space helmet or whatever. Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, there's so many good moments in the game. It's
One of
fantastic.
the that's one of my favourite bits of the game was when you was playing as Ellie and you was in that like subway, and they're like hunting you. The fireflies are like whatever they call it, they're hunting you, and there's it's really dark and it's only lit up by flares, and you know there's clickers in there, and then you can just like make a noise, and then the clickers just clear all like the humans out. Like
Yeah.
you can just use them as a distraction, and you just hide while they just like kill everyone. That was yeah, that was pretty good. But you know, game. As I say, the gameplay, yeah, good. But, yeah.
Cool.
And the other thing, like her father was going to cut a little girl open and kill her, so no wonder the daughter of you know, it makes the father would have protected the daughter. So Ellie really, when she got older, should have clocked. I know she's like driven, she's just got one view and she's going to kill this guy. But you think if she was a progressed character like she's played to be, she would have got older and thought, my dad probably would have done the same to me, done the same to that guy if he was about to cut me open and kill me.
Yeah, no,
I think there's just
absolutely.
little plot holes and stuff in it, you know.
Yeah,
But he did save a zebra, so that was
He did save his episode, so that's quite nice. Yeah.
That was good.
Okay, I feel like it's a agree to disagree moment, and we'll just move on to thankfully something that we all agree on.